Rainy day, on a rainy day, on a rainy day, on a rainy day, on a rainy day.
All right, so we're making a batch to feed 16 buns. So to start, you're going to melt a half a cup of butter and, sorry, I'm just gonna grab this, and 1.5 cups of milk. Then we're gonna go over to the stove and heat it up. Not to boiling, just to warm. Okay, so now that the milk and butter is melted, we're gonna move over to the mixer. Something important to take note of, you don't want to have your milk and butter too hot or it will kill the yeast. So you're looking for between 95 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes.
Okay, so the milk and butter are in. We're gonna add the sugar. That's 3/4 cup of sugar and 3¼ teaspoons of yeast. We're gonna let it mix a little bit. And then we're gonna let it bloom so that the yeast starts to froth up and starts the process of bread. Okay, so our yeast looks nice and frothy. We're going to go ahead and add in 3 eggs and a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna get it mixing on low speed. We have 7 to 7.5 cups of flour in here. It's important to add it slowly because if you add it all in, it could be too much and you never know how much you need and it changes every single time. Okay, so everything's in here. It's going to mix on medium speed for about 8 minutes. It should be pulling away from the side of the bowl and it should look elastic, not too dry and not too wet. Looks great. While your dough proofs until doubled in size, roughly about 2 hours, melt half a cup of butter in the microwave and in a separate bowl combine 1 cup of brown sugar with 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Turn the dough out onto a floured surface. Roll into a 12 by 30 inch rectangle. Pour half the butter onto the dough and spread evenly to within 1/2 inch of the outside edge. So this next part with the sugar and the cinnamon, you can put as much or as little as you like. And a trick that we do at Barnabas is we put extra sugar at the very beginning of the dough so the center is extra gooey. Feel free to use your hands to spread out the sugar. They're your best tool. Begin to roll the dough, keeping it as tight as possible, and pinch the edges together when you get to the end. Cut into 2-inch rounds. Let the knife do the work. Don't press down. Saw with a serrated knife. Pour the other half of your butter into one 10 by 15 straight-sided pan or any size pan, spacing buns 1/2 inch to 1 inch apart. Proof the buns for 1 hour. Place into a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes or until the buns are evenly brown. And the trick that we use is we temp all of our bread. So put a thermometer into the center bun, and if it's 195 degrees, it's done. Immediately invert the buns onto a sheet pan and top with your favorite icing. And enjoy! are delicious desserts, but now you can make them at home.
From our kitchen to yours, have a safe and happy summer.